Yo, this video is going to be about gym pet peeves. I'm going to take all of this from the best hour of their day's Instagram. And I'm going to do all of this because when I started up the YouTube channel, and a handful of times I've stated that the reason that I do all of the natty or nots, and I cover the CrossFit ecosystem, and I make videos like Destroying Nate Edwardson, because at the heart of what I do, I believe that I want to educate people. And when it comes to gym pet peeves, I think that pet peeve in and of itself is just something where there is a lack of awareness amongst the people in that position. So I'm going to dive into the comments section of the best hour of their day's Instagram, which I believe is run by Jason Ackerman, who is a level 4 CrossFit coach. By the way, having done what I just did, I believe that I removed myself from the Nate Edwardsons of the world by giving credit where credit is due. And now I can talk about the comment section. I'm just going to try to rapid fire through these things so that I can keep your attention and possibly you'll subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's roll. Number 1 comment is briefs longer than 5 to 6 minutes. Let's get to work. I believe that it depends on the workout. It depends on the group of people who are listening to the briefing. And it depends on the coach who is orchestrating that briefing. Every coach, I think, owes it to the members to get to the point, get it across, and make sure that everyone understands. When I would stand up in front of everybody and give a briefing, I would act as if I was talking to a bunch of 3rd graders. And yeah, there's going to be people over there who think that they have a fucking PhD in CrossFit. Nobody has a PhD in CrossFit. The person who has a PhD in CrossFit sold CrossFit for a bunch of money and is now sitting on a beach out in California doing the next best thing. Everybody else owes it to their community and to the coach to sit there for however long the coach wants to brief the workout. And it's on the coach to make sure that they aren't using words like but they're getting to the point. What's the intention of this workout? How heavy should this feel? How heavy should that feel? Is there a time domain that we're supposed to fit in? Let's rock and roll. Next comment, a literal pet inside of the CrossFit box. This can go both ways. It depends, I think, on what you want to set your gym up for. This one time when I ran a CrossFit affiliate,
it'll be like this one time at band camp.
My partner was allergic to pets, so we did not allow pets in the gym. And I think that that's actually probably the best way to go about it, because it's much easier to tell somebody that they aren't allowed to bring their pet into the gym, which they should understand, than it is to tell a whole bunch of people why it's okay that you are allowing pets into a gym. And also, once you open the doors of allowing a pet into the gym, you open the doors for a handful of other things. You never know what type of pet that is. Maybe it's a good dog. Usually they're dogs. Sitting in the corner, minding their own business. It's like, oh, look, a dog. But there are people who are allergic. There are people who don't like or are afraid of dogs. You gotta clean up after that thing. Some people don't, and then there's hair everywhere, and that's not good either. And then there's always the owners who bring their dog because they love their dog. And lots of people love dogs. I love dogs. I love seeing dogs. But what if that dog barks? What if it's bothering other people? What if that dog is making 1 or 2 people happy, but it's driving other people up a fucking wall? Those people have allotted an hour out of their day and they're paying to be there. Now all of a sudden you're inconveniencing them and ruining their time. Be respectful of other people. Probably don't bring your dog into the gym. People aren't gonna like that one. People doing their own program in the middle of the room where a class is taking place. And then also coaches who give 0 attention to lifelong members. All right, this is a perfect example of people who just have no idea what the fuck is going on. If they're in the middle of the gym, I imagine a world where over in the corner, the floor is all lopsided. In the middle of the room, it's flat. They want to squat on the flat surface. So they pick up the bar, they go over to the middle, and they're just squatting away. Meanwhile, there's a class of 20 looking over at this person like, what the fuck are they doing? They don't know what's going on in that person's head. They don't know why they're there, but they're going to assume that they're better than everyone else because number 1, they're doing their own programming. In my experience, every single time you walk up to that person and you say, hey, you're going to have to go somewhere else. We have a class going on. This is not the time to be doing this in this spot. They're always like, oh, I didn't know. I just want to squat on a flat surface. If the person in that position kicks back at all, you kick their ass right out of the fucking gym. You don't need their money.
Is that what you think? You think?
They're going to ruin your environment. It's always about the masses. It's about the 20 to 30 to 40 people who are surrounding them, seeing that you are putting them first. Never put the person who is doing their own thing first. If they want to do their own shit, it's up for them to work around everybody else. And it's up to you to make sure that everyone knows that the hierarchy is in place. And then as far as people not giving attention to lifelong members, I believe that that's an education process. If you are a coach or you are coaches, do not think that they have something to offer to people who have been there for a long time. That's an issue. They have no reason to be there anymore. Every single time someone's there, you should be able to offer them something. And if you can't, your retention probably sucks. They're gonna go find somebody else who can offer them something. That is, of course, unless you did the first part really well and your community is really good and you understand that it's about the group of people and they're just there for the community. Sometimes that's the case, but I think you always should be upping your education process. The Ab Mat Pizza pizza game. Fuck that pizza game. Nothing like getting up off of your 8-hour desk job and trying to keep yourself away from someone trying to knock an ab mat out of your hand, and you turn the corner around to pull a brake and blow out your ACL. You can do it! And then smack your face on someone else's head. You can do it! It's the worst way to elevate core body temperature. Do the thunderstruck burpee game. Every time they say thunderstruck, do a burpee. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down, hold a bunch of different positions on the squat. What's wrong with that? There's ways to be quirky and cool and get everybody engaged and have a good time. The ab mat pizza game is not it. Athletes talking to one another during the WOD brief. Affiliate and gym owner or head coach, and then your coaches. There is a sequence in which you need to give these people power to shut those people the fuck up. And just like the person who's doing their own stuff in the middle of the room, if they are not willing to be respectful during the 3 to 4, hopefully maybe even 2-minute workout briefing because you're trying to be as intentful as possible with the things you're telling everybody, then get them the fuck out of your affiliate. That's the second time I've said that. Fire your clients. I'm pretty big on that one. When the Barbell Club keeps dropping weights during the whiteboard brief, that's another one where what's more important? Is your group of CrossFitters more important, or is it your Barbell Club? Are you a Barbell Club gym with some CrossFitters, or are you a CrossFit gym with a couple of barbell lifters? If 90% of your people are part of the affiliate doing classes and there's 3 people over there dropping barbells, either put those classes in separate hours or tell them that they need to be aware of what's going on over there. Walking in front of somebody who's about to do a personal best lift, that's totally something that people just don't understand. Everyone's gone through driver's ed, right? And you still see people who don't follow the rules of the road because they just don't know usually. It's like, oh, what does this double yellow line mean in the middle of the road? Maybe they're from a different country and they're driving on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, those are extreme examples, but you get the point. Some people understand the language of this stuff, and this is a big one. People have no idea that you're supposed to keep the line of sight clear. Some people don't even care. I do care. And if someone's right there or like off to the side a little bit, it kind of drives you nuts. Again, hope that they've watched this video to this point and they've seen this and now they can learn. It's like, oh, they're about to pick up a heavy fucking bar, possibly a personal best. I'm just gonna give them 3 seconds and I'm gonna stop moving. Stripping a plate off the bar and letting the bar drop to its death.
I'd rather die.
That's kind of funny. It's a funny way to put it. Yeah, that drives me nuts.
You wanna know what's wrong with me?
It's one of those you can't inconvenience yourself for a fraction of time to make sure that the bar doesn't smack the floor. Maneuver your body just a little bit and maneuver the weights a little bit more challenging on you to extend the life of the bar. And people have their opinions on that. It's like the bars can be dropped from overhead and it's no big problem. It's showing respect. Again, basically all of these are about showing respect. And some people just don't know, but don't do that. People dropping empty barbells. That's one I haven't seen in a long time, but I've actually done it. 2013, first time ever in a CrossFit affiliate. Everyone's dropping barbells, and maybe this is why I know this sort of shit. Empty bar overhead, everyone's dropping bars, I'm just gonna drop this thing. So I drop an empty barbell from overhead. I'm like, wow, that didn't sound like everybody else's, what the fuck? And then I was informed right away, Andrew, don't do that or you're gonna have to buy it. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do it, never again. So yeah, don't drop empty barbells. When coaches are passive aggressive with members that walk in late, that depends. If there's a member that always walks in late, there better be a reason. And you're gonna be like, Andrew, life gets in the way of that. There are people who come from work, sometimes they're always taking a train, sometimes they're always 2 minutes late, and if that's the case, it just is the way it is. Don't give them a hard time, know that they're doing everything they can to get there. If there's a member who walks in on their phone and they're anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes late every single time, not making an effort to get their ass in gear, and you can tell that it's just kind of not a priority, and again, disrespectful, be passive aggressive with them. And if it's something that really is bothering a whole bunch of people, like the other 2 instances, kick them out of the gym. Do it! They can go be disrespectful somewhere else. Sometimes it's funny passive aggressive, and sometimes they like it too. I used to run a boot camp class.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
And there'd be a member that was always late, and you just give them a little hard time, and it's like just a funny thing. And if it's funny for everybody and you know it, cool. But you gotta be able to read the room. Sometimes it's not funny for everybody. People sitting on med balls and messing the shape up. Yeah, that's part number 1, but part number 2 is imagine doing the hardest workout ever, you're sweaty as all shit, and then you sit your butt right on a ball. You know the sweat that's gonna be right on top of that ball, it's butthole sweat. And then people are gonna be putting their faces on those medicine balls. When they do wall balls, the more you know. An overly confident athlete who feels the need to correct everyone's technique or workout strategy. Yeah, shut the fuck up. That's not what you're there for. If you want to coach, you talk to the coach, you talk to the owner, and then you put yourself in a position to do that. Otherwise, coaches and owners put these people in their place. Members not picking up after themselves. Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but usually like the person who shows up late, you know who's making a mistake and who does it all the time. Kids running around. There were instances, where I'd be given a whiteboard brief.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
There were these kids that had to come because people sometimes they need to bring their kids. And I'd be sitting there with my hand on the stereo, the kids would be yelling their heads off, and I would just sit there and I'd jack up the radio as loud as I could, and then no one could hear the kids anymore. Of course, that was part of the joke. Right afterwards, you walk up to the parents of those children and you say, hey, I know that you probably have to have your kids come with you in order to work out, but you can't have them running around, you can't have them screaming. And then you know what happens next? Number one, everyone knew that you were aware that the kids were out of control. Number two, you let the parents know that the kids can't do this any longer. Number three, they fixed it right away because maybe they had no idea that their kids were being too loud. Now they do. And next time they're being a little bit too loud, all you gotta do is give them a look and give them a head nod. And then they go and take care of it. It's so easy. 800-meter run warm-up. You know what? That's better than the pizza game. Grunters and screamers. I'd say grunting is okay to an extent, just like in other instances. Screaming usually means that you're faking it.
Is that what you think? You think?
And at which rate, if you're screaming once in a blue moon, I could see it, but if it's always happening, it's part of your act, and people are gonna know. And then you might make people feel weird, if you know what I mean. Grunt when it's hard, grunt when it's good, scream extremely sparingly. I believe that's enough of that. I hope you learned something here. If you disagree with any of it, fuck me up in the comments section. Andrew Hiller, out.